Hey there everybody, it is I, Tony aka TTBurger88, and welcome back to a new video here. And this is going to be something totally different than the other videos I've made. And as you all know, 2017 is coming to a close here very soon. And 2018 is coming upon us very quickly. And for this video, since 2017 is coming to a close here, I thought I might bring you my worst games of 2017. And don't you worry, there will be a best game. There'll be a best games of 2017 list coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. But I just want to do the worst game ones here because I felt like doing that first. We have 10 games here we need to get through. Number 1 being the least worst, and number 10 being the worst one of all time. That's how I do them and stuff. But now let's getting into number 1, Gran Turismo Sport. Now, I've been a fan of Gran Turismo since I played the first one in the year 2000. I was a little late coming to the series there. And I loved how it was a racing simulator and an arcade racer at the same time, with a simulation all in one. I loved collecting all the cars. It was so much fun collecting from BMWs, Subarus, Chevrolets, Mini Coopers, and more. And Gran Turismo 2, which is probably my favorite Gran Turismo game on the PlayStation 1, improved on that, but you've given us the arcade mode. In the simulation mode, you can unlock more cars and stuff for the arcade mode. And Gran Turismo 5 and 6 was not greatly received by the critics, but I still thought both those games were fantastic racing games. They still felt like Gran Turismo in their own ways. But this year, recently, we were introduced to Gran Turismo Sport, and I made a rant on this video, on this game, I mean, with the Razor Blade 1812, and I haven't uploaded it yet. I got a little lazy there to upload it, but don't worry, I'm planning on uploading it soon. Probably after these lists are done, probably sometime 2018. But just get out of the way. Now, Gran Turismo Sport suffers from a major problem here. There's barely any offline modes, and you have to be kind of online the whole time in order to get a good race and stuff like that. And then again, the connection is not very good, so you're not going to be able to get a good race. But it's like you take all the fun stuff that Gran Turismo had and take it out, and you're left with Gran Turismo Sport. It's mainly an online only game. That's the only fun you're gonna have is playing online. And me to don't play online much. I'm not gonna have fun. I'm gonna go back and play Gran Turismo's 1 through 6 and be happy with those, and that's pretty much it. Hell, Gran Turismo on the PSP is better than this, and that's saying a lot there. And it's a shame because all of us Gran Turismo fans are looking forward to a Gran Turismo 7, and instead we get this spin-off here that just has sport-like cars, and you have to be online most of the time to check out most of the cars and check out most of the features. That's bullshit. You shouldn't have to do that. The game should have had more offline modes, just like how the other Gran Turismo games had, and to make it more enjoyable, but they didn't do that. And that's stupid, if you ask me. Number 2, Mass Effect Andromeda. Now Mass Effect was a series that I totally followed when I first heard about it in the E3 announcements that you have to download on Xbox 360. I was addicted to finding out what to play that game, because seeing those trailers and stuff made the hype for me greater and greater each time. And I loved the first Mass Effect. I loved Mass Effect 2, and Mass Effect 3 I hated at first until they fixed up the ending, and now I enjoy the game. Mass Effect 3 is a great game, and with the extended cut ending, it really makes up for it. But now I'm enter Mass Effect Andromeda, a game that was made because a lot of the fans wanted more Mass Effect, despite the fact that Commander Shepard died at the end. And I knew for the fact that Commander Shepard was not going to be in this, nor would it have any other of the characters that were in the previous Mass Effect games in this, except for like a little voice cameo by Liara Tassoni, and I hate to spoil it there. But I knew that this was going to be different, but I didn't expect it to be this bad. I played it at a friend's house, and I was shocked on how bad it looks and plays. First off, the graphics here look even worse than the first 3 Mass Effect games. I mean, they look horrible. This is on a next-gen console. This is the best they can do. Hell, compare Mass Effect Andromeda's graphics to like let's say the original Mass Effect's graphics. What looks better? Obviously, Mass Effect's graphics and the Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3 graphics as well, but unfortunately, that's not where the problems end. there's no Paragon or Renegade options when in the dialogue, and I like the Paragon and Renegade choices. It was my favorite. It was one of my favorite parts of Mass Effect, and they took it out completely. They just stripped it out completely because, like, I don't know why. And the game, I mean, the characters aren't even interesting at all. Sarah Ryder, and I forget who the male writer's name is, because my buddy and I are playing as Sarah Ryder, and Sarah Ryder, and it's the default writer is female, which is what I'm saying. But like, even so, writers, like the story is that your father is dead, your twin, whoever you pick, is in a coma, and I couldn't even follow the story. And the romance options are terrible. The hottest female character in Mass Effect Andromeda is a lesbian, so you can't. So the chance of trying to date her if you want to play as a male writer, pretty much can't. And I don't even remember the characters really well, but the gameplay itself is just way too easy. It doesn't feel like Mass Effect at all. It feels just like a generic action shooter, and a bad one, and a bad generic one at that. It's so forgettable, and even the characters are forgettable too, except for Ryder. I mean, I don't even remember more than half the characters' names and stuff, and that's how memorable it is. This game was just made because the fans of Mass Effect would not shut up about we want more Mass Effect, we want Mass Effect, and they did, and Battle said no, we're not getting more Mass Effect, so. But then this game was just made just because of the fanboys wanting more, and that's the end result we get, and it's crap in the end. Number 3, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Now I first played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater in the year 2000, which I played the first one, and I played the second and the third and the fourth, and I played Underground 2, and I played American Wasteland and Project Diva, and that's where I stopped. I feel like the series went downhill when the Underground series came out. I mean, Underground 1 was still okay, but ever since they introduced this create a character for the main mode option, like the story mode, that's when it started going downhill, and it started getting old very quickly. Enter Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. What does this game look like to you? This looks like Tony Hawk Ride and Tony Hawk Shred, but without that stupid-ass skateboard controller that you need. I mean, sure, I'll admit it's nice you don't have to use a skateboard controller, but then again, the game, like, where's all the challenging goals at, and the mission, and the careers, and the mission modes, and the missions and stuff? This isn't challenging at all. It's a breeze to get by. I feel like this is going to be the last Tony Hawk game we ever get, because this game bombed badly. It's probably one of the worst Tony Hawk games we will ever play in our lifetime. But will we get? But the thing is that we will not get another Tony Hawk game. And I hope we don't, because this was a flop. I mean, Tony Hawk is probably shaking his head wondering, wow, what happened to my franchise? It used to be so good, and now it's turned to shit. And this happens when Activision keeps milking out games like this and stuff. That's what happens. Anyway, number 4, Halo Wars 2. A game that's so forgettable and underrated that nobody seems to care. I mean, I've gotten tired of Halo ever since Halo 3 came out, and Halo 3 pretty much killed the series for me because of how easy it was and stuff, and like how like it was very short. I mean, the first Halo is still a true masterpiece to me. It'll always be a true masterpiece to me, because it pretty much wanted me to get an Xbox, because my brother wanted it, because he wanted Halo 2, but I wanted Halo 1 to see how it all began. I had more fun with it. And ever since Halo 3 came out, after Halo 3, it's been going on Halo ever since. I mean, the Master Chief Collection was totally crap, and Halo Wars, I mean, this is gonna be me biased because I don't like playing strategy games. I think strategy games are probably one of my least favorite genres of all time, because I just don't know. I mean, I have nothing against people who like them. I just find it boring, commanding someone to go here and there and this and that and stuff. Just boring. Halo Wars 2, from what I heard, is basically the same thing with no changes whatsoever. And then you get yourself at this point a sequel that people didn't even want in the first place. A lot of people didn't even like Halo Wars. So yeah, that's basically it for that. Now number 5, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, yeah. Oh, you're probably thinking, Resident Evil 7 is awesome, Tony. Why are you bashing this? Those of you who didn't even bother to check out my rant that I made with Razorblade 1812, I'll give you the abridged version here very quickly. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard is not a survival horror game. It's an adventure horror game, and which basically starts from scratch, kind of a reboot of the series, and it's not interesting at all. I mean, adventure horror. What is this? The 90s with like point and click games and stuff. I mean, sure. I mean, it's interesting how it looks. It looks okay and stuff like that. But just this isn't Resident Evil. I mean, sure. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as Resident Evil 6 and stuff like that, or Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. But does this feel like Resident Evil to you? No, it's not. It's not. It doesn't feel like Resident Evil at all. I feel like that they mainly wanted to make a different first-person shooters, horror-like, but they thought it would sell well, so they put something named Resident Evil 7 Biohazard on it, and there you go. The interesting thing in Europe is that in Europe it's called Biohazard 7 Resident Evil. So because Biohazard was the original name of Resident Evil when it was made in Japan and Europe and stuff. They just changed it and stuff, but yeah. And a lot of people were hyped up for it, but I mean, those of you who like it, hey, good for you. That's awesome. But this game here is not fun at all. It's not fun. It's just basically a generic first-person adventure horror game, and there are better games like this. You want a horror first-person shooter? Play Fear. And if you want adventure horror and stuff like that, there's a game released on the PlayStation, PC, and Sega Saturn called D, which stands for Dracula, and that's what Resident Evil reminds me of. It reminds me of D. And with those of you who don't know anything about D, go look up reviews on stuff, because I'm not gonna talk about it right now, because I don't want to, that's off topic. Number 6, Tekken 7. Now, I've already talked about Tekken 7 at least. This is my 3rd time now, but I'm gonna talk about it a little bit here, because those of you who probably didn't bother to watch my review on it because my intro was too long, and some people probably didn't bother to watch my past videos, if those of you who are new subscribing here. But let me tell you what's wrong with Tekken 7. Tekken 7 is pretty much one of the worst fighting games of all time. In fact, I'm not even going to call Tekken 7. I'm going to call it Street Fighter with a coat of Tekken paint, with a coat of Tekken on it. That's what it basically is. First off, more than half the game modes from previous Tekken games are missing, locked, or DLC, or just not there. When you start the game at first, you only have 4 modes to choose from: arcade battle, treasure battle, versus, and online. And well, aside from the options, I don't remember. Actually, I sold the game, and I did play the story mode. And I know people don't play fighting games with a story, but the story mode was super short. I beat it in like 2 hours, and it didn't even solve anything. And why is Akuma from Street Fighter in this game? They're saying that Akuma is now canonical to Tekken now, and so he's somehow related to the Heihachi Mishima and stuff. Give me a break. This is just thrown in for the Street Fighter fanboys and stuff. And also, end the Mishima Bloodline saga, because I am so sick of it. I mean, I liked it at first, but it's dragging on and on and on. Just kill off Jin Kazama, Mishima, and just end it right there, because I'm tired of hearing about it. And if Tekken 8 comes out, there is a high chance I'm not going to buy it. In fact, this was my worst game of the time when this game came out, but boy oh boy has that changed. And also another thing, the graphics look like shit. The characters, the way their costumes look, they don't look or feel like you're playing as those characters. Like, Lily does not feel like Lily. King does not feel like King. And even the sound effects and the voice and stuff like that from certain characters have been recycled from previous Tekken games. I mean, this is a next-gen console and you're still recycling voices and stuff. Jeez, laziness much? And the fact that is that, like, even the creative character options, most of that is locked as well. And sure, they've had update dates since then, but it all should have been available on the day it came out. I mean, look at Tekken 6 and look at Tekken 6. It had all the modes there. Tekken Tag Tournament 2, yeah, I mean, like, there were updates dates available for like new characters to come last like that, but that was a free update. You gotta pay for some of this stuff in Tekken 7, and that's stupid. I mean, Namco, what happened here? I've been a fan of your series since I first played Tekken 2 in the arcades, played as Kunimitsu and stuff, and this is the best you can do for Tekken 7? How could you do this? I mean, me being a hardcore Tekken fan, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of you guys. You could have done better, but you didn't. You just rushed this game out, and also Tekken Bowl tournament's in there, but Tekken Bowl tournament has gotten old ever since Tekken Dark Resurrection on the PSP came out. Just saying. So yeah, there are a lot of people who, and the sad thing is that there are a lot of people who like this game, but I can't help but think that people who are liking this game have not played the previous Tekkens like me and a bunch of other people have played it. And also the arcade the original arcade mode sucks as well, like story mode for the other characters, or random battle if you call it. It's just one battle and then goes to the ending. How lazy could you get? That's just stupid. And like I mentioned, half the characters missing too. Even my favorite female character, Anna Williams, is not in there. I mean, yeah, I guess you can argue that some characters are too similar to one another, but these characters have been in previous Tekken games. They could have been in this one. And I'd say Tekken 7 flopped badly, in my opinion. It got some good reviews from people who probably never played the previous Tekken games, but this game was terrible to me. And me being a Tekken fan, I was ashamed. Now number 7, Sonic Forces. Okay, Sonic the Hedgehog. When's Sonic gonna end? Sonic has gone downhill since Sonic Unleashed came out, and I know I've said before, Sonic 06 was the last good Sonic game in my opinion, but the Sonic games after that, they just keep getting worse and worse as time goes on. I feel like it's more like they're catering more to kids and stuff like that, and like the sense of speed in the previous Sonic games, especially Sonic Boom and this one, the sense of speed, in my opinion, is not there. It's such a slow fest. And people said Sonic 06 was a snooze fest because how slow Sonic ran. He ran faster in that game than he does in these. I mean, I just feel like Sega's running out of ideas for their mascot, and they're just gonna keep pushing him in to other games until they call it quits. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that one. Number 8, Call of Duty World War II. And I know I already made a rant on this with my buddy, with a subscriber, my Canadian gamer, but I'm gonna talk about it again anyway. Call of Duty World War II was said to have Call of Duty go back to its roots, which was a flat-out lie. This doesn't feel like my favorite Call of Duty game, Call of Duty 3. It basically feels like Call of Duty Futuristic Warfare, or whatever you call it, or Call of Duty Black Ops 3, just with a coat of World War II paint on it. The graphics are shit, the gameplay is just basically the same, and the story is very inaccurate. Why are there female soldiers fighting for the Americans? I mean, why are there female soldiers in the American army? History has said countless times there were no female soldiers. It's historically inaccurate. It's like they just, well, let's create our own thing. Nobody cares about history anymore, when a lot of people do. Why do you think a lot of people watch those war movies on like D-Day and stuff like that? To remember our fallen soldiers who died on June 6, 1944 in World War II. Hell, I mean, say what you want about Call of Duty, and I know a lot of people hated that game, but at least, here's the thing, Call of Duty 3 made you feel like you were in a bigger war, and it was fun. And that's why it's my favorite Call of Duty game. This is not a World War II game at all. It's basically Black Ops 3 or futuristic warfare with some World War II paint slapped on it. That's what it is. That's all it is. If you want more information on it, check out my rant on it, which also made around Battlefront 2 as well. Number 9, getting close here, people. Need for Speed Payback. Yeah, everyone knows what's going on with EA right now. How the shit they did with this game and another game, which I won't mention right away, has hit the fan and stuff. It's really been affecting them. But aside from the loot box microtransactions affecting this game is pretty much looks awful looking. And also for the fact that Need for Speed has gone downhill ever since they tried to make it seem like Fast and Furious, try to make it compete with the Fast and Furious movies, stuff like that, even when the movies came out as well. I have all the Need for Speeds on the PlayStation 1, and I have Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2. That's the last Need for Speed game I have ever gotten. I'm trying to get into. I mean, I thought about getting into underground games and like Most Wanted 2000 and 2005 stuff like that and such. I mean, those games are. Well, I mean, I haven't played them, but I know for the fact that they are better than the Need for Speed that come out now. I mean, and also the stupid storyline too, which I couldn't even follow. And ever since Need for Speed started putting storylines in their games, that's when it went downhill. It started out with, I think, Need for Speed Carbon. Carbon was probably the last good Need for Speed game from what I heard from one of my friends who works at GameStop. And it started out, I think it started way going downhill when Need for Speed The Runs came out and stuff, when it just basically had quick time events outside your car and stuff. And I don't know if this game has quick time events and stuff, but if it does, then geez, no surprise there. But like, why does Need for Speed have a storyline? I mean, I know it's got the movies and stuff that it wants to compete with Fast and Furious, but for crying out loud, this isn't a story. This isn't Need for Speed was just all about racing, and that's all it should have been. Look at the first 3 Need for Speeds, mainly the first 3 Need for Speeds on the PlayStation and stuff. They were all about racing. They didn't have no crappy ass storylines like that to make you to like draw you into the game. You don't need that, and you never needed that. So why put it in now? I don't know why, but it was stupid if you ask me to include a storyline in a racing game like this. And also the fact that the cars look stupid as well. I mean, these cars look atrocious looking. Hell, Drive Club looks better than this. Gran Turismo Sport looks better than this. And hell, freaking Gran Turismo 5 and 6 and MotorStorm Pacific Rift look 10 times better than this pile of garbage. So yeah, we're down to the last game here, people. Number 10. Can I have a drum roll, please, people? Come on, give me a drum roll. Okay, number 10. Star Wars Battlefront 2, which I'm sure people probably already knew I was gonna say that, gonna mention this title here, but Star Wars Battlefront 2, well, 2017. This is the game that EA's been getting a lot of shit for, because loot boxes and microtransactions all over the place. It's basically a huge gambling system in the game, and you're basically just spending a bunch of money on the weapons and the characters and stuff like that. It's one fucking gambling system, and it's stupid. I mean, Star Wars Battlefront 2 Classic had everything there. It even had a much better campaign that lasted longer than 3 or 4 hours. Yeah, this EA said it was gonna be a campaign, but nothing this stupid. Hell, when Star Wars Battlefront 2 came out, I ended up getting a different game. You know what I got instead? Schoolgirl Zombie Hunter, an average game. It was short, and like you can't play it. I won't be playing it for a while because like I beat it, so there's not much to do in it yet. But for now, unless I go back, unless they include some updates in it. But Star Wars Battlefront 2 is basically a ripoff, and EA's been getting a lot of shit for this. There's a law that's trying to get passed by some guy. I forget his name at the moment, but Chris Lee is his name, and he's drafting a bill that could change the whole gaming industry, that could ban people from loot boxes, from Unreal 1 can get loot boxes and stuff. And you know what I gotta say about that? Hooray! Somebody please. This is beyond insanely ridiculous because you're wasting like thousands of dollars. I mean, a bunch of kids, mainly kids are gonna be buying this, wasting thousands of dollars on their parents' bank account, buying all these weapons and stuff, when it all should be available in the game in the first place, when it's not. And not only that, when playing the game, it's very jerky-like too. You got space battles and stuff, but it's just that the space battles are not as memorable as the ones in Star Wars Battlefront 2 2005. Why did they do this? I mean, and there's also a bunch of petitions on change.org going on to have Disney get rid of the get EA to stop making Star Wars games, and a petition to like for EA to make the changes and stuff. There's a lot of petitions going on to EA for EA to drop the Star Wars license, and they should, because LucasArts did it 10 times better. Look how many games LucasArts had made. I own a bunch of Star Wars games, like Master Terrace Kazi, which was an underrated game in my opinion, Dark Forces, Star Wars Demolition, the Battlefront games, and I played the Rogue Squadron games, and like Star Wars Rebel Strike 2, no, Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, The Hidden Empire, and yeah, and I played Star Wars Starfighter, Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, and there was a lot of Star Wars games that I own, and a lot of them I enjoyed, while there were a lot of them I didn't enjoy as well. But hell, this game is so bad, it makes the game Yoda stories on the Game Boy Color and PC seem amazing. Hell, I may not have liked them. Let's see, like I mean, there were a couple stars. I'm not. I may not have liked Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3 Rebel Strike, but it was 10 times better than this. This is an insult to Star Wars fans. And what is the deal here? Every time a Star Wars movie comes out, they're gonna release a new game for it and stuff. I mean, why? I mean, even the Star Wars movies that the new Star Wars movie, that's the original trilogy, it feels like Star Wars for a younger audience, Star Wars for kids at that. But I'll be making a video on that soon, so expect that shortly. Well, who knows? By the time, who knows? By that, I may upload this video before or after that, so I don't know. But this game was just a pure insult. It was a pure insult to Star Wars fans, a pure insult to first-person shooters, and a pure insult to people who were looking forward to a better version of Star Wars Battlefront 2015, and we got something even worse. I mean, Star Wars Battlefront 2015 had very little offline modes and stuff like that, but here it's even worse because you gotta pay so much for this shit. It all should be on the disc in the first place. And EA is probably considered the worst video game company of all time, and I have a feeling that this is gonna bankrupt EA. They're gonna go bankrupt for this. Which you know what truth is? They should go bankrupt, because you know why? They've bankrupted other companies and stuff, and you know what? This game will bite them in the ass and stuff. And I know for the fact they're trying to do damage control here, and it's not working. Because you know why? Nobody is buying EA's bullshit. You know what? I am never gonna buy another EA game again. You know what? I haven't bought any EA games ever since Battlefront 2015 and stuff. And you know what? I'm not buying more EA games. Because you know what? EA should not. We shouldn't give EA our money. We should go spend our money on other better games, like Blue Reflection, a fantastic RPG, Severed Mission Neptunia, 4 Gods Online, a fantastic hack and slash on Sprouts the Neptunia series. There's a lot better games that you're better off playing and you're gonna get your money's worth. This is an insult, and that's why it's the worst game of 2017 in my opinion. And that's pretty much all I gotta say for this. Stay tuned, because there will be a there will be a best game of 2017 that's coming out, so stay tuned for that. This is Tony aka Teacher Brigade. Peace out, and have a great day, everybody.